Everything changed in the final moments of the Chi Season 7. Friendships were tested. Loyalties were broken. And just when it seemed like peace was possible, the streets reminded us that nothing stays calm for long in this world. If you thought this season would end with closure, the final episode made it clear that Chi is only just getting started. The finale of Season 7 brought everything full circle, but not in the way anyone expected. Emotions ran high, and each character faced a choice: keep surviving or finally try to live on their own terms. The entire episode felt like a pressure cooker ready to explode. And it did. Let's start with Emmett. After everything he's been through, from business setbacks to street threats, Emmett found himself at a crossroads again. He's always tried to walk the line between being a good father, a loyal partner, and a man making money. But Douda's world kept pulling him back in. In the finale, Emmett tried to take control of his businesses, his future, and most importantly, his soul. But it wasn't without consequences. The way he stood up to Douda showed growth, but also hinted at more danger ahead. His line, "I'm done being scared," wasn't just a bold statement, it was a declaration of war. Keisha, on the other hand, was the emotional heart of the episode. Her love for Emmett has been tested over and over. She's tried to hold it all together: school, motherhood, and a relationship with a man who keeps getting dragged into chaos. In the final scenes, we saw her pull away just enough to show she's not afraid to walk if it means protecting her peace. She's no longer just reacting, she's choosing her own path now. The scene with her quietly packing her things wasn't dramatic, but it hit hard. It was the silence that spoke the loudest. Victor's transformation was one of the biggest shifts this season. From community protector to city politician, he's tried to clean up the streets without losing himself. But in the finale, the price of power became clearer than ever. When he stood at the press conference and denounced Douda, it wasn't just a political move, it was a personal one. But with that decision, he put a target on his back. The streets don't forget betrayal, and neither does Douda. Victor's growth is undeniable, but the cost might be higher than he expects. That final shot of him looking over his shoulder felt like the beginning of a new war. Then there's Papa, still grieving his father's death, still questioning his faith. Papa's journey has been deeply emotional. In the finale, he finally began to find strength again, not in preaching, but in facing his pain head-on. His quiet talk with Kenya and his moments of reflection reminded us how personal grief is. But instead of closing off, he opened up. That moment when he returned to the church not to preach, but to just sit was subtle and powerful. It hinted that Papa's journey isn't over. He's just finding a new way forward, and how can we ignore Douda, the puppet master behind so much pain? The finale made it clear his power isn't fading, it's spreading. Even as people rise up against him, he always seems one step ahead. But cracks are starting to show. Betrayals are piling up and enemies are circling. The final moments where Douda's fate was left uncertain gave the perfect setup. Is he dead? Gone into hiding? Or simply planning his next move in silence? The show didn't give us an answer, and that's the most dangerous part. Every scene in the finale was packed with layers: family tension, street politics, emotional heartbreak, and personal growth. It wasn't just about what happened, but how it felt. You could feel the weight of years on every character's face. No one is the same as they were in Season 1. They've all grown, but the cost has been heavy. Trust has been broken. Blood has been spilled. And the future is uncertain. The final shot of the episode, quiet streets, heavy music, and lingering looks, left us with a message. Peace in the Chi is always temporary. Something bigger is coming. And no one is ready. In the Season 7 finale of the Chi, every character stood at a personal crossroads. Some stories felt like they were ending, while others cracked wide open. But make no mistake, no arc was fully wrapped. The streets of Chicago may offer moments of peace, but nothing stays still for long. Let's break down where each major character stands and explore the paths they might take next. Let's start with Emmett, because his evolution has been one of the most complex across all seasons. He started out as the charming, irresponsible guy everyone loved, but no one could count on. Over the years, he grew slowly, painfully, but always with heart. In Season 7, he tried to step out of the shadows cast by men like Douda. He wanted to run his businesses legit, build a real home with Keisha, and be the man his sons could look up to. But the finale showed us something raw, that trying to do the right thing in a city built on survival is never simple. His decision to finally push back against Douda was bold, but the consequences of that move remain unseen. Will Douda retaliate? Or has Emmett made a move too strong to reverse? One thing's clear: Emmett is no longer a follower. But leaders don't get to play it safe. Now take Keisha. She's been through more trauma and growth than most characters in the series. Kidnapping, recovery, motherhood, and now trying to find her own voice. Throughout Season 7, she's fought to hold her relationship with Emmett together. But it's become clearer with each episode that love isn't enough when peace of mind is always at risk. The finale hinted that Keisha is exhausted, not just from the chaos, but from always being the one holding things together. Her emotional distance felt more like self-preservation than coldness. Keisha's next move might not be about relationships at all. It might be about healing and finding purpose outside of others. She's done being defined by pain. Season 8 could be her true moment of personal freedom. Victor, or Trig as many still know him, is standing on a knife's edge. He went from running the streets to running for office, and while his heart has always been in the right place, the finale proved that clean hands don't stay clean in dirty politics. By publicly cutting ties with Douda, Victor risked everything. That moment at the press conference wasn't just political, it was personal. It was Victor choosing community over survival. But now he's left without a safety net. His enemies are watching, his allies are questioning his loyalty, and he might be left fighting a war without knowing who's truly on his side. Will Victor become the kind of leader he once fought against? Or can he truly change the system from the inside? Papa's arc in Season 7 was spiritual, emotional, and deeply personal. After losing his father, he struggled with faith, identity, and anger. At times, he felt completely lost, questioning religion, friendships, even himself. But in the finale, we saw him take a quiet but powerful step forward. Sitting alone in the church wasn't just symbolic, it was a reset. Papa's strength has always come from his heart, even when his words couldn't match his feelings. Now, he's learning to speak truth to himself before he preaches to others. Season 8 could be Papa's rebirth, not as a preacher, but as a young man learning how to carry grief with grace. And maybe, just maybe, he'll become the emotional anchor of the group again. Then there's Jake, quiet, thoughtful, and fiercely loyal. Jake's been watching more than acting lately. His bond with Gemma has been shaky, and his loyalty to his brother Victor is complicated. In Season 7, Jake mostly moved in the background, but the finale gave us moments that hinted at deeper internal conflict. He's tired of violence, but he's also tired of being treated like a kid. His next chapter might be about finally stepping into his own spotlight, building something for himself. Not just reacting to everyone else's choices. Now, the most chilling arc belongs to Douda. For seasons, he's been the power behind the curtain-pulling strings, making deals, threatening lives. But the finale pushed him into a corner. Victor turned on him. Emmett stood up to him. And the people closest to him are questioning his power. Still, this is Douda. If there's one thing we know, it's that he doesn't fall easily. But this time it feels different. His fate was left open, no body, no final shot, just silence, and that silence is terrifying. Because Douda doesn't just disappear. If he's alive, Season 8 could show us a version of him that's even more dangerous. More ruthless, and with nothing left to lose. Other side characters also made strong impressions in the finale. Gemma, balancing ambition with love, seems to be struggling with who she's becoming. Her scenes with Jake have less fire, more frustration. There's a chance she may completely step away to chase her own goals. Then there's Bakari, trying to leave the streets behind, but haunted by past choices. Redemption might be possible for him, but only if the city lets him breathe long enough to find it. What's powerful about the She is that no story is ever truly over. Every goodbye feels temporary, every piece feels like a setup. The characters grow, yes, but the environment never stops testing them. In the finale, we didn't get clean endings. We got quiet warnings. And if you read between the lines, the message is clear. Season 8 won't just continue these stories, it's going to explode them. The question now isn't what will happen. It's who will survive it. Asterisk Season 7 didn't just end with cliffhangers. It ended with a storm quietly building in the distance. The final moments weren't loud, but they were loaded. The camera lingered on stares, silences, and broken trust. It was the kind of ending that signals a beginning. As we look ahead to the Chi Season 8, the question isn't whether things will get better. It's how far they'll fall before they do. Let's dive into the biggest theories for where Season 8 might take us character by character. Move by move, let's start with Victor, because his choices may reshape the entire landscape. He took a bold risk by publicly turning his back on Douda, aligning himself with a cleaner, more community-driven vision. But in a city like Chicago, that kind of honesty has consequences. One theory is that Victor's decision will spark a quiet war behind the scenes. He may find himself pulled into the same type of dirty politics he swore to avoid. Backroom deals, media spin, and new enemies in suits instead of hoodies. Could Victor become the thing he's always hated, a politician who compromises everything to keep power? Another angle is that Victor's life is now in danger. By crossing Douda, he painted a target on his back. If Douda is still alive, his silence could be strategic, waiting for the right moment to strike. But if Douda is truly gone, a power vacuum is left behind. Someone will step up to take that throne, and Victor could become a pawn or a rival in that battle. Now, think about Emmett. Season 7 ended with him choosing his future over fear. He finally told Douda he was done. But that move was risky, possibly even suicidal. Emmett isn't built for war. He's not violent, not ruthless. But maybe that's exactly what makes him dangerous in a different way. A major theory for Season 8 is that Emmett will build a new kind of power through community, not crime. With Smokies and his other businesses, he could create a financial base that allows him to fight back without guns. But here's the twist. Emmett's stand may force him into an unexpected alliance. If Victor starts losing control, or if another gang starts rising, Emmett might have to team up with someone he never expected, maybe even Bakari or someone from Douda's old crew. Another theory? Emmett could be the reason Douda comes back, seeking revenge not with force, but by tearing Emmett's world apart piece by piece, starting with Keisha. Speaking of Keisha, she's not just in danger emotionally, she might be next on Douda's list of targets, especially if he wants to hurt Emmett where it really matters. But beyond being in danger, Keisha's character is finally stepping into her own light. A major theory is that she distance herself from the chaos and maybe pursue something bigger: education, activism, even a leadership role in the community. Her story may shift from the girlfriend to the one leading her own movement. But that shift could also bring friction, especially if Emmett pulls her back into the fire. Then there's Papa. His emotional journey through grief and anger has positioned him for something new. Fans believe that Season 8 could be where Papa starts something meaningful, maybe not a church, but a youth center, a peace group, or a mentorship program. His character has always been about guidance, but now he might finally act on it. The theory goes deeper, though. What if Papa ends up becoming a voice that unites Emmett, Victor, and others around a peaceful revolution? Or what if he gets caught in the middle of a spiritual battle between the streets and salvation? Jake is also at a tipping point. He's always been the most observant, the quiet fire waiting to erupt. In Season 7, he seemed like he was done with the games, the chaos, the killing. But he hasn't made his big move yet. A popular fan theory is that Jake might enter the business world legitimately. Maybe he invests, opens something with Gemma, or starts building real wealth. But another theory flips that, what if Jake gets pulled back into the street life not by choice, but by revenge? If anything happens to Gemma or Victor, Jake might be the one to snap. And then there's Douda, the man, the myth, the monster. His silence in the finale wasn't weakness, it was strategy. Fans believe he's not gone, he's watching. He's regrouping. And when he comes back, it'll be with more force than ever before. Some think he's going underground rebuilding his empire with new players. Others think he might go legit on the surface, hiding in plain sight, one wild theory. Douda could return not to reclaim his throne but to burn it all down. Maybe he's done playing games. Maybe he wants to destroy everyone who turned on him, even his own people. And finally, let's talk about the new villain. Every season of the Chi introduces someone or something that shakes things up. With Douda out of the picture, at least for now, a new threat will rise. This could be someone from outside, another gang leader, a corrupt cop, or a politician who wants to silence Victor. Or it could be someone already close like Rob, who's been underplayed but could have his own ambitions. What if Rob becomes the quiet puppet master of Season 8? Season 8 could also introduce a time jump. Imagine waking up a year later. Emmett is thriving, Keisha has moved on, Victor is running for mayor, and Papa is leading a youth movement. Everything looks perfect, until it all comes crashing down. Douda returns. Betrayals are revealed. The peace was just the calm before. The storm. One last theory? Season 8 may finally break the cycle. Maybe someone finds a way to bring the community together, not just through politics or power, but through love, healing, and change. But in the Chi, happy endings don't come easy. Season 8 will not just answer questions. It will test every choice. Friendships will be tested. Enemies will become allies. And when the dust settles, someone new will be standing on top, but at what cost? Asterisk, while the storylines of the Chi leave us breathless with drama, it's the behind-the-scenes moves that often reveal what's truly coming next. As we head into Season 8, there's a lot of buzz, some confirmed, some whispered, and some that only fans paying close attention might have caught. From production updates to returning cast members and even potential plot shifts, let's break down everything we know and everything we suspect about the future of the Chi. Let's start with production. According to multiple sources close to the show, filming for the Chi Season 8 officially resumed in early summer 2025. That's right, despite previous delays and industry slowdowns. The team behind the series has been working quietly but steadily. The show is reportedly shooting in and around Chicago again, using a mix of real neighborhood settings and studio work, which means the authenticity that fans love isn't going anywhere. Several cast members, including Jacob Lattimore, Emmett, and Alex R. Hibbert, Kevin, have posted behind-the-scenes glimpses that suggest new storylines are already being developed. Though Kevin left for Los Angeles in Season 6 and had limited screen time in Season 7, rumors are now swirling that he'll return in some capacity. Some insiders suggest a guest arc. Others think he may come back permanently, bringing with him a new perspective shaped by life outside the South Side. Now, speaking of returning cast, fans can breathe a little easier. Most of the core crew is expected to return. Emmett, Keisha, Victor, Papa, and Jake are all central to the new storyline and have been confirmed to continue. But one name that's shrouded in mystery is Douda. Played by Curtis Cook, the show has made no official statement about his fate, which has only added fuel to the speculation fire. His absence in promotional material for Season 8 could be a misdirect, a clever way to keep his surprise return even more impactful. Interestingly, there have also been casting calls for new characters, young adults in their early 20s, seasoned community leaders, and even a political strategist. This gives us a few clues. The show might be expanding beyond its familiar blocks. Victor's rise in politics could lead us into City Hall storylines, while Emmett's growing ambition might connect him to new players in Chicago's entrepreneurial or criminal scene. A new villain or rival seems inevitable, someone who challenges Douda's shadow or picks up where he left off. Another major topic in fan circles is the tone shift that Season 8 might take. Showrunner Lena Waithe, in an interview last spring, hinted that the Chi would evolve with its characters. That means we're likely to see more mature storylines, less focused on survival, more on legacy, impact, and transformation. But don't think the drama's going anywhere. Waithe also said, "There's always danger when you're trying to change the game." That quote alone suggests Season 8 won't soften the edge. Instead, it might lean even harder into real world issues: corruption, gentrification, police tension, and black entrepreneurship. Behind the fiction lies commentary, and the Chi has always balanced the two beautifully. Let's talk theme direction. Based on casting, leaks, and interviews, Season 8 seems ready to explore what power really means. Not just street power or political power, but emotional power. Who controls the narrative? Who gets to forgive? Who gets to rebuild after destruction? These are the questions Season 8 is poised to tackle. The characters are older, smarter, and more worn down. That weariness could turn to wisdom, or it could explode into recklessness. Fans can also expect a possible time jump. Some theories suggest the first episode of Season 8 could open months or even a year after the events of the Season 7 finale. That would give space for shifts in alliances, new businesses to rise, and old wounds to deepen. It also sets the stage for unexpected surprises like pregnancies, deaths, or complete changes in character dynamics. On the technical side, the production team has upgraded some of the filming equipment and visual approach. New cinematographers were reportedly brought in for this season, which could mean a shift in visual tone, darker lighting, longer camera takes, or more stylized dream sequences.